Arianna, let's start with you. You just heard what Congressman Adam Schiff had to say. So could the president's legal team really try to assert executive privilege to stop the public release of Mueller's report?
Well, you know, it's a terrific question and very timely right now, because under the special counsel regulations, all that Bob Mueller is required to do is to provide a report to the acting attorney general or attorney general, whoever is in charge at the time. And if the reporting is accurate, and it is February, it appears that it will likely be Matt Whitaker who is the one who he is reporting to. And under the special counsel regulations, unlike the independent counsel regulations that were controlling under the Kenneth Starr investigation, there is no requirement that this report see the light of day. And so it really will be up to whoever is supervising Bob Mueller's investigation to determine what and how much of that report is revealed. And certainly, if the most recent reporting is accurate, that President Trump has been having these secret conversations with Matthew Whitaker as to what he would like to have done with regards to this investigation, then it seems he is certainly trying to have his hand in what's happening to the report.
But I want to go back to this notion of recusal. Arianna, the DOJ ethics review of Matthew Whitaker found that Whitaker's recusal would be appropriate, but it actually would not be required. Why is that?
Well, so under the guidance, the ethics rules, if there is a clear conflict of interest, such as a financial or personal or political stake in an investigation, that's an actual conflict and it requires recusal. But there is another prong to the recusal inquiry, which looks at whether there's an appearance of bias. And when there's the reason why it's important potentially to recuse yourself when there's an appearance of bias, which arguably there is here, since Matthew Whitaker appears in his media statements to have prejudged the Mueller investigation, when there's an appearance of bias, it is best practices to recuse yourself. And according to the letter that was submitted to Congress, apparently senior ethics officials do think, on balance, because of this appearance of bias issue, he should recuse himself. Now, in an odd twist of events, which cannot be made up, apparently Matthew Whitaker had created his own sort of council of advisors, separate and apart from the DOJ ethics folks, who apparently he's consulted with and told him he doesn't need to recuse himself.
Well, Arianna, I want to turn, though, quickly to Attorney General nominee William Barr. Senator Dianne Feinstein was pulling no punches and had this to say on Twitter. She said, "We need answers as to why William Barr proactively drafted a memo against Special Counsel Mueller's investigation. There's no reason for a lawyer in private practice to do this unless he was attempting to curry favor with President Trump." Now, Barr did, in fact, criticize the Mueller probe in an unsolicited memo as grossly irresponsible. Did he just essentially talk himself out of a job?
Well, I think what we're seeing here is a pattern where President Trump is picking people to supervise this investigation who have publicly and clearly demonstrated hostile views to the Mueller investigation. Now, unlike Matthew Whitaker, Bill Barr is eminently qualified to hold this position, and he's certainly entitled to his legal views. However, there are many candidates who could take this position and do it competently and capably, but it appears that the main reason why he was nominated for Attorney General by President Trump is because of this 19-page single-spaced memo that he sent not only to Rod Rosenstein but also to White House lawyers, which in effect appeared to be an audition for the job, because he clearly stated he has very capacious views of presidential powers, in which most of the time, he's not going to believe that President Trump is capable of committing obstruction of justice merely by dint of the fact that he is the President of the United States.